Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 34th edition of In the Mix from the Six. We're here on a
Sure.
somewhat, decent weather day, but we just finished up The Last Dance. You've heard some people's reactions, but you haven't heard our
Yeah.
reaction. This is going to be the best reactions you've heard.
The
So,
Canadian one comes late, bro.
yeah, we're going to kick off there. As always, I got my guy, Addis Kuchkovic. I'm Jay Boyle, if you're unaware. So, Addis, I'll let you start off. You said you had a question to pose to me. You just finished watching the last two
Just
episodes. So,
few seconds ago,
let's get
bro.
it rolling, bro.
I have an idea already what my answer is, but I just want to know what you think.
All right.
With this documentary being released during this quarantine, and with it being stretched, like every week, so that they kind of extended it.
5 weeks, yep.
Yeah. Do you think that with this documentary, does it put more pressure on LeBron to come back for these next 3 seasons that he has to ship every year?
I think from the mass media and the people, yes, but I think to him personally,
No,
no.
I'm talking about LeBron.
No,
Do you think it puts pressure on him?
like him personally, does he feel pressure now?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Not with his mindset.
You're
Because
crazy,
this is the
bro.
guy.
That's a weak mindset.
No, it's not. That's a strong mindset. You don't worry about
Nah,
external
bro.
factors. This is the guy who 2016 after he won, he
Yeah.
said, after I won that chip, that's when I felt I'm the greatest of all time. So if he already feels that. He's already got Jordan on points, assists, rebounds, playoff game winners, last second shots. He's
But the
got
thing
him, he's got him in every statistical category except finals wins, right?
that's
So
what matters the
he
most.
he knows he's in line to win a chip this year, and if the season resumes, I'd put my whole bank account on the Lakers winning this chip. LeBron's hungry, but LeBron always said the thing that drives him to be great is he's chasing the ghost of Michael Jordan. He's always wanted to surpass Jordan.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I don't think this doc really changes anything. And LeBron has said through these uninterrupted web shows that he is a huge Michael Jordan fan. He was since he was 5 years old. At 9 years old, he was crying when Jordan retired. The thing is, he lived the Jordan era.
Yeah.
We didn't. So to us, this interview was a little more prevalent and revealing some stuff we didn't know. But I feel like for the older guys who lived that, it's not that mind-boggling when you watch this stuff. Like, it's great seeing the behind-the-scenes stuff, but I think for a guy like LeBron James, he's still going about his business. He's always been trying to chase Jordan. This documentary to him, outside sources, people are going to be talking more like, oh, Jordan is the certifiable GOAT now after you watch this.
Yeah.
I think for LeBron, nothing's going to change in his mindset. He's going to go out there and try and win chips like every year.
Here's the thing, though. As you say, he was a big fan of Jordan, right?
Yeah.
And like, there's no way that you can tell me that this doesn't push him to not pressure, but like almost like motivate him. Be like, you know what? I need to get up there and do exactly what this guy's been doing. Look at everything he went through, you know. And then now look at where my career is. He said in 2016 he thought that he was the best player of all time, right?
Yeah.
Why doesn't he feel like that now?
No, he does, but I mean,
I'm telling you he
2016
doesn't. I'm telling you he doesn't. I'm telling you he doesn't.
So in 2016, he thought he was, but now he doesn't.
No, I'm saying of all time.
In 2016, he
That's
said,
a tough way to convince yourself that you're best of all time by winning what 3 championships in total?
yeah,
Not in
but
a row.
no, in total, but going to whatever 8 or 9 straight finals, which Jordan never did, never went to more than 3 straight. So I think, hey, if you decided 2016 you're the greatest of all time, you already feel like you reached that, and you're already trying to beat Jordan. Nothing changes for him. He wants to win chips. To me,
Yeah, I know, but we're just seeing this, like, it's like Jordan has like a never ending just legacy, you know? That, and I feel like this is just gonna push him, be like, LeBron's like, do I have this? Like, when it's all said and done, is this what I have? What Jordan had?
okay, but so what would LeBron James change then? Is he going to change his play style and try and become more of a scorer when he's playing point guard this year and he's the best playmaker in the league? No. So
Mentality. Win at all costs.
mentality. I already kind of saw that change that last weekend of the season against the Bucks and the Clippers.
Yeah.
The way he went at those guys more as scoring and not just facilitating.
And he made sure he didn't just beat them; he beat them down.
Yeah,
know?
he was kicking their ass. So
Yeah, exactly.
that was already before this documentary, and that was
I
just
know.
recognizing the situation that needed at the time. And that's what I've always said about LeBron James.
Yeah.
He recognizes what his team needs in that moment in time.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, with all this going on, I'm seeing out of all the NBA players in the league and everyone, that's all players are being pushed to sit out. get back to play, and I feel like that's because of this. Him watching this is probably like, yo, I gotta get back to business. Like I gotta show everyone that, like,
Okay,
I'm
sure. So then
I'm the top
that's
dog.
more motivation, not pressure.
It is pressure in a way because if it doesn't result in a championship, what does it really mean then?
No, I guess you're right in that sense, but
Yeah,
for a guy like LeBron James, man, you can't let
I'm
something
sure he's
like this
focused there.
change your
Yeah,
total mindset. You're LeBron James for a reason. You got to this place for a reason. Your mental game is just as important as your physical game on the court.
I know, but I'm just saying that, as you said, this documentary convinced a lot of people that there ain't really no debate yet to the GOAT conversation because to see what Jordan did, if he didn't go that 1 year and play baseball, he could have had 6 titles in a row. Like, you know, it's a crazy way to think because every time he's played a full season and playoffs, it resulted in a championship.
Not every time.
If I'm a basketball, I'm
What
not
do you
even a
mean?
basketball player. I watch that. I
What
want to hit the
happened
court.
from what happened from 85 to 90? Why didn't he win then?
Hmm?
And from 1985 to 1990, he played full seasons.
Yeah, no. I'm
Didn't
saying,
win.
bro, he was developing at that point. When you get the best Jordan from probably like 93, 94, not even 96, 97, that was the best Jordan. And if he played in that 95 season, who's to say that I couldn't have been 6 straight?
I guess. I mean, you can make that argument, but you never know what would have happened. And hey, again, that goes back to he couldn't handle the pressure and he had to leave the game. Uh,
True.
what I wanted to get to was the best part for me. I want to kick off the last dance, last bloody moment, 1998, last minute of the game. To me, that might be the most dominant minute of basketball I've ever seen a player put on in the history of the game. All right, like it was just mind-boggling. With 58 seconds left, he hits 2 free throws to tie the game.
Yeah.
John Stockton then goes and bangs a three, so Utah's up by 3 points. Jordan out of the timeout drives to the basket, layup, easy 1 point game, and then probably the most famous steal in the history of the NBA. There's two defensive plays most famous in the NBA.
I
Jordan's
know.
steal there and LeBron's block on
Block.
Iggy, right? And then he goes down and the famous shot with 5 seconds left, sending that Russell guy who was talking smack when he was
People
retired
call it a push off.
up. I don't think it's a push
It was
off at all.
there's no way it was a push.
Dude, you play basketball, I play basketball, and
Yeah,
as your bodies go, your hands kind of go too. Like he
yeah.
barely grazed him to the side. He
He ain't
shook
that
the
strong to push the guy, bro.
shook Russell 15 feet away, and then
Yeah.
nothing but net.
This is my argument I always have with James Harden. People always pushing off. Bro, he ain't that strong that with like a little flick of his wrist, this guy's gonna go flying.
I don't
It's
think James Harden really pushes off. I think he
I've
travels
heard a
and
lot of
that
people
stuff,
come
but
to say he pushes off. But as Jordan says, momentum was going that way.
yeah,
It's like I didn't have to push him.
he
You know?
sideswiped him.
Yeah.
But no, that was the perfect demonstration of what Michael Jordan was in that minute, right?
Killer.
He knows this is it. This is probably the last moment of my career. It would have been if not for that Washington whole situation.
Yeah.
And he just takes everything over, and it was amazing to watch. It was poetry.
That's what I'm saying, bro. This documentary really. This is what I'm looking at when I think of his legacy. It's that this was able to be put together, and we're gripped by it, even though we know the result of it. You're
Mhm.
watching it there, and you're just thinking, how great is this, and just how crazy is it? I can imagine how much crazy it was in that time, but just the fact that it can transcend this far is crazy.
The thing being, I'd watched that clip of that last minute on
Yeah.
YouTube probably 100 times in my life, or seen it on
Hey, we've all
Sports
seen it,
Center,
yeah.
right? But again, to me, the best part of this documentary is hearing the guys talk about these moments, hearing Jordan break down what
Yeah.
his mentality was, what his thinking was in each moment of that last minute, what he was thinking before the steal, right? What he was
Yeah.
thinking when he took that shot, and okay, what were my two options here, and I got to pick my right moment and what I was seeing. Now, the next topic I want to get to is something guys have harped on LeBron James, and this is nothing comparing them to, but it's just a
Yeah.
show. Every great player needs great players around him and a team to pick him up, and it's team sport, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to go back. 1993, who hit the winning shot? John Paxton, right?
Yep.
And then 97, who hits the winning shot? Steve Kerr. and then 98.
That's for conference final though.
In what?
For Steve Kerr.
No, 97 he hit the title-winning shot. 98 the conference final
Oh,
shot against
yeah.
Indiana. So
Back.
Steve Kerr came up twice huge. One time to win the chip, one time to send him to the finals. John Paxton. So as great as a Michael Jordan was, that's why a guy like Michael Jordan says, listen, there's no MJ without Scottie Pippen. So yeah,
Exactly.
LeBron James has had Kyrie Irving and Dwayne Wade when he's won his chips. While Kevin Garnett had Paul Pierce and Rajon Rondo. There's not one team in the history of sports that has won on the back of one player. Kawhi Leonard had Kyle Lowry,
Kobe
Pascal
too.
Siakam. Kobe
Yeah.
had Shaq. He had Powell. Even
Yeah.
Derek Fisher you could put in that group. Right?
Exactly.
So I think we just need to get over that notion. And if you see a guy like Michael Jordan, whether you think he's the greatest of all time or not, if you see a guy like him needs people in the big moments to help him out, then that should really dispel that theory of, oh, Jordan's the best because he goes and gets it done every time alone. It's not possible for one guy to win in sports unless
Yeah.
it's tennis or golf.
The only thing with like, of course, it's not all about one guy, but what I've noticed with this arc is LeBron's shown that, like, what Jordan's like shown throughout his career, that killer instinct, that it's 1 minute left, I gotta change it. It's gotta be me. And we've seen this from LeBron, especially in 2016, right? He makes a game-saving block. We all know Kyrie hits the
He
shot, but
but
it was all
he hit the fadeaway right
exactly.
before Kyrie's shot.
Yeah. So it was all built up from LeBron. It's just what I watching this is the consistency.
No.
As I've said, we've seen this from LeBron, but we have not seen this every finals run, And this is why I feel like he needs to show for his as soon as he gets to the finals, we all know you have AD, you have a great team, but can you really push that team to win the championship?
This is the fifth week we've talked about this documentary, and somehow you always try and make it about Michael Jordan versus LeBron James.
Bro, I'm a youngin. All this shit
See,
was
here's the
freaking
thing.
news to me,
I'm gonna get real with you for 1 second here. Like, all seriousness.
Yeah.
Once the tragic passing of Kobe, I had spent so much time of my life putting Kobe down because I was a LeBron guy. After Kobe passed, all that shit just seemed useless to me. Like, you too, and a lot of people around our age group and even older. Guy like Nick Wright said it on Fox. He felt like an idiot. When Kobe passed, then you're like, wow, I didn't spend enough time appreciating this guy
Yeah.
because I was trying to justify another guy being better. That's why I'm like, man, I'm so over the GOAT debate. Like, I like having the conversations, like contrasting playing styles and mentalities and that stuff, but I don't ever need to have the GOAT debate again with anybody, and I would be happy in life.
No,
Like,
yeah. I'm
I
not
could
doing this as a GOAT debate. I'm saying this
I
as
just want to
like
put that out there. I don't know. I think you like being, oh, LeBron's got to do this to beat Jordan. LeBron's got to do this
No,
to beat
no.
Jordan.
I'm
Who
saying
cares?
LeBron can use all this as like motivation to like push his legacy even further, because we all know LeBron's one of the best we've all ever seen, right?
Yeah.
This is fact. But I'm just saying, all these things that are happening, especially like, of course, the conversation's over between him and Jordan, but the
Hmm.
fact that he's in the conversation should be like, it's enough, you know. Like, there's not ever gonna be a for sure answer on who's better.
No, you can't. Too many
That's all.
factors.
With this
You give me
documentary,
5 minutes, I could convince you either way.
exactly, yeah. So like LeBron, I'm just saying, can take all of this and use it to further his own legacy. And
I
who knows? One day, take out that conversation.
I appreciate that. Uh, couple more things I thought of. It's just me. I think Jordan said it actually near the end of the documentary. That last chip was the happiest I think of all six, and that I've ever seen any video footage of Jordan
Of
like
Jordan,
showing
yeah.
the most emotion and just the gratitude.
Except for his first one too. He was
No,
freaking
the first one,
bawling his eyes out.
I think I've even watched. LeBron, Paul Pierce talked about it. A couple other guys. The first one is like kind of like a relief.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you got it, you're sorry, but it's a relief. But the sixth
Your
one for Jordan
expectations were
was
met.
like,
Yeah.
man, I just wanted this one so bloody bad, and it's just pure joy.
I'm telling you, I was so impressed with these last two episodes that a team with that much pressure, that much focus on things outside of basketball, was still able to kind of like tune in and just go straight for the championship. They don't care
Hmm.
about all the outside like Dennis Rodman going to WWE in the middle of a finals run. Like, that makes no sense to me. Can you imagine a player in today's game doing that? And you're on a game 3, you just finished up, and you see this guy in the WWE or in the UFC or something crazy.
I'd be so rattled if I was Phil Jackson. Are you kidding me? This guy's hitting
It
it,
took that.
but this guy's hitting a guy with the chair. What if that guy grabs the chair back and hits Rodman?
Exactly. Jeopardize the whole finals run. For what? Few bucks?
You got some good money, I'm sure. So one thing, I did a little research. I saw somebody post something on Instagram or TikTok, and I looked into it.
Yep.
ESPN did a poor job in one section here. They had me believing that when Rodman went to Vegas, that Jordan went to Vegas to get him out of the hotel room. That is not what happened. Rodman had made it back to Chicago and was sleeping it off, and that's where Jordan went and pulled him out of his room with Carmen Electra in the bed.
Yeah, because remember he pulled them. They went straight to the training facility.
Yeah, but in the documentary, everybody had thought that Jordan went to Vegas, and that's the way they made it seem.
Oh yeah. Well, I kind of got the idea that they were back in Chicago once. They said.
You're the only guy. I just thought I'd clear that up for the viewers. Last, you have anything you want to get to? I got my last kind of discussion point on here. Otherwise.
With the Jordan dog?
Yeah.
I'm interested. What's your
So I saw, I believe it was Nick Wright and Chris Broussard. Don't hold me to that. Just remember, I saw him talking about it. The difference between Jordan's first 3 chips and the second 3 chips, and they were saying that the league perhaps was watered down during the second couple chips due to expansions. So I looked it up, and they had added 2 new teams in 1990, 2 new teams in 1995. So that's 4 new teams in 5 years. So that does. And then they had said, even people at that time were writing about it, the league was watered down. And then they made a good point. You look at the Utah Jazz, right? Yeah. The way their team was constructed, Karl Malone, John Stockton, and the rest of the role players. Well, they had been the same since like 1990 or even before that, and could never get to a finals. Then you start having some expansion teams. Teams go from having 2 All-Stars to just 1. And then a Utah Jazz team who could never get over the hump, now all of a sudden is in 2 straight finals. So do you put any merit on that perhaps the league was watered down during this second run of 3 chips?
I disagree, because like they do explain in the documentary, for Utah to get to play Chicago in '98 in the finals, they had Los Angeles Lakers.
Sorry, you just got off there.
I said the Utah Jazz, in order for them to get to that finals to play Chicago Bulls.
And which ones? 97 or 98?
And was it 98? I believe, or 97.
Was the last one? Okay. Yeah. Anyways, go on.
But they swept the Los Angeles Lakers, and Los Angeles Lakers had a guy named Shaquille O'Neal on that team. So what you can call it watered down, but if you got to go through Shaq, I'm sure they went to have to go through him in '97 too.
Yeah, Shaq would have been a young guy though. He wasn't Diesel yet. You know, he was pretty. He wasn't scrawny, but he was.
But young Shaq helped Orlando reach the finals too. A young Shaq was a beast, bro.
I suppose you are correct.
It might have been watered down a bit, but I feel like the top tier All-Stars and the top 4 teams at least of both conferences, they still have the superstars.
You still have to battle. And the thing is, I get there's 4 teams expanded in 5 years, but 2 in 1990 and then 2 in 95. If it had been 6, or if it was like 4 from 95 to 97, I think I'd give more merit to the argument. But right now, I don't think it's that big. Perhaps the quarterfinals, because you saw MJ, what did he say? If Brooklyn gets 1 win, that would boggle my mind. They're not going to get a win. I think the first and second rounds were kind of a joke, except for his first year back losing to Orlando. That was more because he wasn't in shape.
Yeah.
But then once you got to the conference finals and the finals, you had to battle. You had to, go through Reggie Miller and those types of teams.
Exactly. And the thing it was win at all costs, right? So the thing with Jordan, he didn't care who was on the other side of him.
No, I know.
Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant.
No, I know he didn't care, but I'm just saying. Well, he didn't win every season, but
of course.
And it's it's kind of like now. Raptors last season, they played Orlando Magic first round.
Yeah.
The only reason they lost that first game is because they were like, "Man, this is Orlando Magic. We don't respect them one bit." And then they turned it up and won 4 straight.
Yeah.
Right now, you don't have those matchups in the second round anymore. Like the second round semifinals there's 4 teams left and they're dogfighting.
Yeah.
But same thing out west. 7th, 8th seeds for the top 2 seeds. It's usually a cakewalk.
Yeah, but they've been saying the East has been trash for the last.
No, it's even the same in the West, man. One of my favorite series of basketball I've watched in the last 5 years. first round matchup, Golden State versus New Orleans, and that was a great series. Two
Oh,
games,
I
two
remember that.
games into overtime. It was
Yeah,
still a sweep, right? Even out west, the number one, number two seeds rarely ever have trouble in their first round matchups.
it's true. It's true.
All right. Anything else you want to say before we end our discussions on The Last Dance forever, probably?
I 100% forever, but I appreciate that it came out, especially during this time with no basketball going on. But it just shows if you do a documentary, a docu-series correctly, it still has the same impact no matter if people know the results or not.
I'll ask you this quickly because it was blown up on the Twitterverse. Adam Schefter tweeted, "Does anybody have the footage on the Pats last Super Bowl?" And I was like, "No, no." I was like, "Nobody besides their fan base gives one bit about seeing anything more about the
I
Pats."
want to see it. I want to see
No, I respect
it.
and acknowledge what they did, but I do not care to see anything about Bill, Tom, or the rest of the Pats.
It'd be
Like,
interesting,
get
bro,
that out of here.
with the
No.
whole Deflategate and all that stuff going on, bro.
Yeah, so I put hashtag cheaters. The only thing I want to see is what happened with Spygate and Deflategate. And that's not even the last season, but tell me the truth about their cheating scandals. I still respect their wins. Their wins weren't because of cheating. Deflategate, okay, maybe one playoff game.
As long as Belichick's
And all
alive,
the
you'll never
regular
get the
season.
truth, bro.
Yeah.
You won't get the truth.
That's the only thing I'd care about a Pats documentary. Give me Kobe, give me MJ, give me Wayne Gretzky. So and by MJ I mean Magic Johnson, but no Pats, man. I ain't got time for that.
This is a bit off
Show
topic,
them. Yeah, go
but
ahead.
did you watch the Clippers one that they released?
Oh, on Quibi? No, I did not yet.
Yeah.
Did you?
No, I haven't. I was just wondering if you did.
Maybe
Okay.
we'll review. Maybe we'll review that shortly.
But 'cause I was gonna say, if they can make a docu-series about that, and the Clippers weren't nothing really. Like, of course, whatever happened with the owner was crazy, but they can make that. You can make one with freaking
Anything.
yeah, any team really.
All right, we'll wrap up there and moving on. All right, so during this quarantine era, we've had lots of people hopping on IG lives and doing kind of conversations like we're doing on Zoom here. LeBron
Yeah.
James is doing one with Uninterrupted. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and they posed a question to him about, did you ever think about going to the NFL since you were so good at football in high school, right? And he
Yeah.
revealed that in 2011, a lot of people might have seen the clip, that he was actually adjusting his workout regimen to become more of a football body. And then he actually had conversations with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones offered him a contract. He obviously never signed it because the NBA came back by December, and
Yeah.
then and that contract is framed in his office. How good do you think LeBron James would have been? How effective would he have been at that time in his career going to the NFL?
Listen, you get an athlete like LeBron once every
Listen, he's what,
few
30,
years.
34 right now?
Yeah. So how old are you?
So in
Would have been what?
2011, he would have been like 25, 26.
Hella young. You know, a guy like LeBron, he could pick up tennis right now. He might be one of the best in the world. You know, like it's just like MJ. You know, like their drive and they know how to get better in sports and it's work. And, you know, there's no cheating.
It's putting in the work. It's grinding to the max capability.
And think about LeBron. Like if he played in the NFL as like let's say a wide receiver or
He would be
something.
a wide receiver, yeah.
A guy almost 7 feet tall, 260 pounds, built strong. Are you kidding me? He would just be a problem. He probably wouldn't be. He could end up being one of the best wide receivers in the NFL.
He's 6'8", 6'9", depending on the measurements,
Yeah.
and he's varied between like 260 to 280 even in his career. Like he was 280 at one point, and I think now he's maybe down 250.
Playing football, you're putting on muscle, right? So you're gonna be bigger. So if he's
already got
270,
muscle.
280, I know, but
he wouldn't be running that heavy. I think he'd come in
if he was wide
250,
receiver, probably not.
260.
Yeah.
But to me, it's what's the gentleman's name? Seattle, his rookie receiver last year, DK Metcalf.
Metcalf, yeah.
Okay, DK Metcalf's got a very similar body frame to LeBron James. LeBron James' legs are bigger. If that guy can go out there being an effective NFL wide receiver, pretty much just running go routes, right? And post. That's the only way DK Metcalf makes catches. A guy like LeBron James, man, I think he would be top 10 receiver in the league. I don't know about top 5 or the best in the league, but I thoroughly believe you give him a couple years in the NFL there, you would get it. And our buddy made a comment to me saying, this guy flops in the NBA. He'd be scared to get hit. How many cornerbacks and safeties are cornerbacks? No, like he can run through them.
Yeah.
Safeties are a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger, but still, he would be a mission just to bring down.
I'm telling you, they're pulling him down or they're tripping him. There ain't no, he's not taking no crazy hits because no one wants to get that impact really.
It would be like Gronk. You're targeting his knees.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're either tripping him up or you're gonna try pulling him down. And good luck, because you're gonna get injured more than LeBron is, to be honest.
And let's not forget, this guy was an all-state wide receiver, and then didn't play his
Exactly. Yeah.
senior year because he went more basketball. But
Yeah, let's focus on that. He's played basketball before. He's not. This is
football,
not new to him. It's not like he just picked up a football one day. He's like, oh, you know,
and he would have had less years
what's
in
this
but
sport?
he would have had less years in between than what MJ went. He was 17 last time he played baseball, and then got back into it at 31 or 32. LeBron
Yeah,
James last time he played it would have been 16 or 17. I
yeah.
think he said it was grade 11, and then got into it again at 20, 26.
Listen, whatever
9 or
sport
10
that man
years,
chose, he's good.
honestly, he would dominate anything besides hockey.
I want to hear that. Why?
Dude, hockey is the most difficult of the major sports.
Why?
Whoa, one, because first of all, you have to be an impeccable skater. You could be the sickest ball hockey player. You go on that ice and
Okay.
you're nothing. Number
Okay.
two, the functions of shooting a puck to that velocity. I've been playing hockey my whole life. Come on, I'm a goalie, but still, I'm on the ice in this. I go out on the ice as a player, and my shot is a muffin. And that's not to be anything to do with muscle mass or anything. It's form and technique. Like, if you go on the ice and take a shot, and then you watch Austin Matthews do his wrister, you'd be like, how's that even possible? The
Yeah,
way
but
he gets a leverage on the stick and rifles that. And then the stick handling. And keep in mind, you're skating on 3 millimeter blades while guys are trying to take your head off. And you're trying
okay.
to stick handle through them and put a 3-inch puck into a 6x4 net with a
Okay.
goalie who's world class.
Given the circumstances, I agree with you. It's probably the hardest of all the major league sports. It's the
Yeah,
most
like
different. It's the most different. So
yeah. Don't get me wrong. Soccer is difficult, but anybody can kick a ball. Basketball, anybody can shoot a basketball. You can get better at the other sports quicker than you can at hockey. That's why I would have loved it for Jalen Ramsey to actually commit to it and try. He did that one video and he sucked, I think, but he said give him what 6 weeks
joke.
or 6 months and he'd be in the NHL. Like, are you kidding me, dude?
6 weeks or
He's
6 months.
fried.
6 months
Even
is
if
even
no,
less
even if
fun.
it's 6 months, no bloody way. There's guys who are disgusting in the American Hockey League, been playing their whole lives and can't sniff the NHL.
That's true. I know. Yeah, you gotta give him some respect, bro. Put some respect on the sport. People have been playing their whole lives and can't even freaking make it.
Yeah.
It says 6 months. I'll be in the league.
All right, we got a couple. We'll run through a couple COVID-19 stories, and then we'll end with a fun segment afterwards. So, Europe is now trying to, let's get soccer back on the table here, right? In most countries.
Yeah.
So, Bundesliga launched. They've had a couple of full weekend, no issues, no fans. I watched a bit of the Bayern game. It was interesting, but the English Premier League, they sanctioned that you're allowed to have small group training starting this week. So in the last 2 days, they tested 750 people. I think that's players and staff, and they've had 6 positive tests. Now, we think that ratio is not that bad, but 6, you put them on the field, sweating on a slide tackle could go from 6 to 60 real quick.
Well,
No,
you isolate those 6 and you don't let them play. No.
yeah, no, for sure. But they could have already passed it on to somebody. If they're,
Fair enough.
but I assume they tested before any training started. But now here's where the issue that I want to talk about comes, right? Watford is a team, they're not very good, but they're in the English Premier League. Their captain, Troy Deeney, said he's not joining his team for training this week out of fears that he could pass COVID-19 on to his 5-year-old son. Now, this is not just a guy who's, a reserve on it. This is a bloody captain of an EPL team. So I think this
That's
is
fair.
issue you're dealing with. And I've seen players in basketball talk about this, in the National Hockey League as well. I haven't seen many football players come out. But I don't know how these leagues balance convincing the players that it's safe to come back when really you cannot, no matter what lengths you go to, you cannot always assure it's going to be safe.
You
Unless
can.
you're testing every single day
Yeah.
or multiple times a day like the UFC is doing, which these soccer leagues are not doing. They don't have the means to do that. UFC, you have an event. How many fights you have in an event?
11.
11. So 22
22.
fighters, and you have minimal staff there for these events, right? So
That's true.
you have maybe 40 to 50 people you're testing.
Yeah.
EPL soccer league, you can't get that many tests. So they're only testing twice a week.
Yeah, I feel like it's it's okay if he says that, then it's up to him. But like, what the players that want to play and are ready and feel safe to play, go out and play. I understand as a team captain, but that's his decision. You can't really argue it. You can't because, of course, if he's worried about his son and his safety, don't play.
Yeah.
But so I'm telling you, majority of the guys aren't. I'm sure there's a few that are worried, but majority of the guys are ready to play. They're ready to get back
Yeah.
out there. So as long as they get tested, they're fine.
I think the issue becomes then if you're not testing daily, you have to keep the players to have any sort of guarantee. You have to keep the players in hotels quarantined. The
Okay.
Bundesliga, however, they only had players in the hotel for the first weekend, and now they're allowed to go to their regular homes.
Yeah, but they'll
So
probably be tested again, no?
yeah, but again, like the EPL, they're not going to be testing every day. So the thing is, if you're at home, okay, are you eating your meals at home every day? Who's going to the grocery store for you? Say
Yeah.
your wife is going to the grocery store. Well, she could get it there and pass it on to you, or you get it from
That's
any
true.
other means. You go out to pick up food. Like it's tough. I think without testing every day, these leagues are going to run into lots of issues with players getting tested positive. Maybe they didn't pass it on to anybody else. But okay, every team starts losing a couple players because they get positive. What kind of results are we going to have for these leagues going forward?
It's up to it's on the league. This is their responsibility. If they don't want to test every before every game or something, then they gotta deal with the fact of what happens if some player gets sick and has a bad reaction to the virus. The league's gonna be shut down, and you gotta understand that, right? Because there's
Yeah.
no way if one player gets it and has a serious reaction to it and goes through some like terrible things, there's no way they're continuing the league or continuing to play because other players are gonna be like, hold up, I don't want to turn out like that guy. So
Well,
it's their
but you saw
responsibility.
what Adam Silver said. He's told players that hey, if we start up again and one player tests positive, we're not stopping anything. Is that
Yeah,
player will be quarantined and you're gonna continue on. If you walk off, you're not gonna
that's
get paid.
exactly it. But that's exactly it. Because the
So
UFC, when they were testing the fighters, they had one fighter and his two coaches test positive, right?
yeah,
Quickly send them back home. They sent them right back to Brazil.
yeah, but again,
So
it's easier in the UFC with
it is.
way less people there and less contact,
But
right?
the UFC
You
is also
only
a smaller league,
no,
sports league,
I get that, but
compared
like
to the NBA.
the individual fighter, he's only on a given day having contact with his team, and then the
Yeah.
weigh in, you're around other people. But besides the weigh in, you're only having contact with your team, so you're not gonna be the likelihood of a fighter infecting another fighter pre-fight is very very slim to none.
Exactly. But they could also make that for the NBA if they were to quarantine players and their families,
Yeah,
test them before
that's the
games.
only way it's got to be
You know
done.
it's all safe. Yeah.
I think the Bundesliga is going to start running into issues here with letting players go back home.
100%.
All right, moving on in soccer. Italy, they're opening their shopping malls and their stores, but Serie A has said they're staying
Surprise.
suspended until June 14th. I think that's going to be the one to watch out because we all know how hard Italy's been hit.
I know. I
Um,
was gonna say I'm surprised Italy's so quick to open up again.
I don't know what the numbers are right now, but
But
the thing
like
is,
it was a scare. A few months ago, it was
no, I
scary
know, but
in Italy.
they hit their peak a solid what 6 8 weeks before North America,
That's true.
so it may have calmed down. Uh, we had joked
I
around
understand that.
earlier. I said, wouldn't it be funny the Leafs haven't won since '67, and if they won this year, and we could have no parade. Well, that might happen for Liverpool fans because the EPL has announced if they don't resume play and Liverpool is awarded the title, there will be no trophy presentation.
Wait,
So,
if they don't
so if they
continue
don't,
play,
yeah, because they're close to
okay, well then
clinching the
yeah.
cup, but that would suck. Even if they resume play, Liverpool's gonna win. They're so close to clinching it, and they're far ahead from anybody else. But it just sucks, man, to have no trophy presentation. Forget not even having fans there, just for the players, all their hard work that went into the
Listen,
season. You
yeah,
win your title finally. Mohamed Salah, all those guys want to
yeah.
feel the gratification, and
Listen,
can't even host the trophy.
if whatever city, whatever team were to win a championship, if they say no parade, it's happening. Try stopping a million people, please. Can you
Oh well, okay, we'll go in the streets, but we won't be with the players. There won't be the player buses coming
well,
around.
yeah,
We won't
but
be
you'll
seeing
be,
Drake and Kawhi popping bottles, spraying on us like we had in Toronto.
of course.
It's not going to be the same. It'll just be players, people partying, And that's what even Manchester United is worried about. Even though there's no fans in the stadium, they put out a issue this morning to fans saying, please. They have a square outside the arena, kind of like we have Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
where fans always gather. And they said, please, if we resume, do not gather in that lot. Please do
Well,
not.
are
And then
you
people
gonna
are
be
going to.
playing
People are going
Are you
to.
gonna be playing the game on the screen? If you are, then I'm gonna show up. You know, that's the easiest way to eliminate it. Don't play the game. It's true.
Oh,
If they were showing if let's say the season playoffs resume and they're broadcasting the Raptors playoff games outside of Jurassic Park, you're telling me
they
people are not
shouldn't.
gonna show up?
If they do, they're asking for it.
Exactly. Yeah, people are
See,
gonna show
here's the
up.
thing though. Before the EPL was canceled, I'm pretty sure they'd already removed fans, and
Yeah.
they said social distance before the last couple games, and they had fans in that square. And I'm sure there wasn't TVs on, but it's just they want to see even the players' bus leaving after, and they all swarmed the bus. It's a
Oh, fair
tradition for
enough.
Manchester United, right? We'll see. People just got to get it through their heads, right? The UK is in a lot of trouble with this infection as well. So
If the NBA does come back and they were gonna do it, select cities, it's not like we can wait for a bus coming to Toronto because they're not gonna do it in Toronto.
yeah. So Habib Nurmagomedov, I think the odds that we see him back in the UFC anytime soon just flew out the window.
Slim to
So
none.
his somehow he's thankfully still clean, has not contracted COVID-19.
Yep.
His father has heart complications due to COVID-19, and he says 20 close relatives and friends have either died or have been in ICU due to COVID-19. So, I mean, it's amazing that he hasn't come down with it yet. But I just think, given that situation, if we had any hopes of either him fighting Ferguson or Connor or Gaethje or anybody, we're gonna be waiting a long time before he's coming back over to North America.
Here's the thing though. This guy is so crazy and like so Jordan-like, if you could say. His dad got sick. Yeah, whatever. He has all these issues. He's been in a coma, and this guy told not a single person continued to train. Dana White, whatever, finds out from like a calls him, been like, yo, why didn't you like tell me? You know, I would have known why you're not trying to sign a contract for a fight. And he says, well, it's between me and my family. I'm ready for September. Like, bro, this guy's still like, this is the word, like, Ramadan's happening, so he's fasting, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Family probably going through the worst situation they've ever been in. Because dad's sick. He says he's lost a lot of relatives. And
Yep.
this guy is still focused in a
So
way.
he told Dana he'll fight in September.
He said he'll be ready for September.
Yeah, so I mean that's a long ways away.
It is. Yeah, it's a long
We're-
way.
We're not
But
even
they're
in
hopeful
June.
this summer. Exactly.
All right,
But
so
you
4
give
months.
the guy his time. You know. He
No, that's
deserves
what I'm
it.
saying. I think he should take the time, grieve the people he's lost, deal with your father's situation as best as you can, and come back when you're ready. Like sports can always wait.
Exactly.
Last couple notes here. Big Three, not that anybody really watches their shit. Canceled their 2020 season. They'll be back
Who?
2021. The Big
Who?
Three.
Who?
This is a funny story though. This will make you laugh. So the Korean Soccer League, obviously, no fans, right? So they did something quite interesting and spectacular to try and fill the stands. They modified sex dolls and had sex dolls sitting in seats in the stands
No
with
way.
masks on. I don't know if you can see this picture. You see those
are
people? Those are sex dolls.
No way.
Yeah.
Bro,
Let me read a little bit here to you. South Korean
where-
club FC Seoul issued an apology Monday. They issued an apology for filling empty seats with sex dolls ahead of their victory. And here's what they said. We would like to apologize to the fans. Our intention was to do something lighthearted in these difficult times. We will think hard about what we need to do to ensure something like this never happens. Think hard. Just don't put sex dolls in your damn seats.
Bro, I'm the number one fan. I'm the number one fan of that team right now, bro. They did it, bro. They made a joke during the worst time. This is great, bro. If the NBA did that, bro, hats off.
Crucifixion.
Hats off to them, bro.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
reading this and I was like,
Savages,
oh my
bro.
god. And they're claiming that they're made to look like real humans. They're not sex dolls. There's other reports.
For
But
who? Made to look like that for who? For the players?
I don't know. They're supposed to resemble having fans in the stands, but they're not saying anything, so
I know. There's
they're
no
not
noise.
contributing to the environment. So there's no benefit for the players. They look out and see sex dolls. They just think, "Oh, what am I doing after the match?"
The players are probably tripping. They're like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh,
Oh
that
wow.
that's the best
That's
story
funny.
I've read or heard during COVID-19.
Only in South Korea.
South Korea, man. Uh,
Bro.
hey, South Korea puts sex dolls in their stands. North Korea's dictator fakes his own death to find traitors. Korea, man. Crazy.
No new friends. He doesn't trust anybody.
No new friends. All right. We'll move on
Good
to
one,
the
Andrew.
Russell Peters segment now. For our last segment, we thought we'd slide over to the hip hop universe. We saw a clip recently the other day of Russell Peters being interviewed by DJ Vlad, and they're talking about the Toronto hip hop landscape, Drake, some other artists, and DJ Vlad poses a question to Russell Peters that they disagree on. So we'll play that for you, and we'll give our takes right after.
You're from Toronto.
Mhm.
Toronto has a very interesting hip hop history. I mean, you had Maestro Fresh West back
Yeah.
in the day. You had Cardinal Official,
Mhm.
Socrates,
Choclair.
Chaclair,
You know.
but none of them
Yeah, I know these
came
mans.
close to Drake.
Right.
It's not even close.
Oh,
It's not even in the same.
listen, Drake.
remote ballpark.
Drake is like, but Drake is so big, much bigger than he's the king of hip hop right now, or rap, as you will.
I would say Kendrick, but you can
Really?
Drake.
No,
Okay,
sir.
let me put it like this.
Let me say it like this. I'm talking
Where's
on a
this guy
commercial
been?
scale.
Yes.
You can go anywhere in the world, you're going to hear a Drake song.
Okay. I'll agree with
You're
that.
not going to hear a Kendrick song.
Well, let me put it like this. If Drake, Eminem, Jay-Z, and Kendrick Lamar all dropped an album on the same day, I think most people would listen to Kendrick's album first.
I think you're wrong.
Okay?
You said Drake, Jay-Z,
Mhm.
Kendrick, and who?
Eminem.
Eminem. Jay-Z would win that.
I don't think so.
I think Jay-Z would get the first listen. Then it would be either M or Kendrick. I'd probably
I'm
say
not talking
Kendrick.
about people in our age range. I mean the whole population.
No,
all the
Drake
hip-hop
would
listeners.
definitely get the number one listen.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I think people would listen to Drake probably second, but I think first they would listen to Kendrick's album.
No, I can't.
Look, one of the things that I say was
All right. Give me your take. Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, Jay-Z drop on the same day. We're talking about all age ranges, vast majority. Who are they listening to first? And you're not even the biggest Drake fan. Give me your opinion.
I wouldn't. I'd probably go to Jay-Z first, but I'm not stupid, and I'm going like I know the world is gonna go to Drake first. Like the fact that at this point you can still argue. Like first off, okay, if you're gonna mention someone else, you could have mentioned other artists that have been maybe more relevant as of late. Like
Jake, I'll put J. Cole above Kendrick in that
Yeah.
conversation. Who I'm listening to
Kendrick.
first?
I haven't had anything from Kendrick in like what 3-4 years.
The last album was 2017 or 2018.
Damn.
The one
I think
where
Damn was like 2017, 2016.
the one where he was ripping off Drake, the whole album.
Yeah, with Humble and all those songs. Since then, is the last thing I have something from Kendrick?
April 14th, 2017. So we're over 3 years.
Exactly. There you go. Point proven. And when was Drake's last project? This guy gave us songs that he just had on his laptop. And
10 days ago.
And everyone went to it. You know, like, no matter what the guy puts out, it's going to be the first thing that people look at. No matter who, like, okay, it's just maybe the older people might go to someone like Jay-Z, Eminem more. But if you're talking about anybody, it's Drake. It's Drake. I think, if anything, Kendrick might fall last on that list.
Personally, for me, I'm going Drake number one. Obviously, I'm a big Drake guy.
Yeah.
But and then number two, I'm going probably Jay-Z, then Eminem. I love them both. And yeah, Kendrick is coming fourth for me. That's no disrespect to him. It's just
Wait, so for you personally, you're going to Eminem before Kendrick?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Probably. You know what? Those two are interchangeable. It's definitely Drake then Jay-Z.
But worldwide, Kendrick's at the bottom. It's understand.
Yeah, like I respect his game, but the only project I ever liked from him was Damn, and it's because he was biting off Drake's style and talking shit about Drake the whole album. So it wasn't even
Well,
traditional Kendrick
you didn't like
Lamar.
you didn't like Good Kid, Mad City?
No, I don't like his style and his flow. Don't get me wrong, good songs. There's some good songs
Girl,
on there,
man.
but generally as a project, Damn was the only project from Kendrick that I actually played, like over and over, not like regularly.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
No, I said he's got some good
Mad City,
songs.
bro.
Listen, don't get me wrong. There's been some Kendrick Lamar songs in my pre-game hockey playlist, but when you're talking as albums as a whole, Damn was the only one that I really thought was a good project, and it was him totally switching his style. Maybe that's why I liked it,
Maybe, yeah.
right? And haven't heard from him in 3 years. The thing is, he doesn't even drop singles. I don't think he's got that mass media appeal anymore. He's got
Yeah.
the diehard rap fans that like his vocabulary and the content he raps about. But for
Yeah.
me, I don't need my music to always be about trying to do better and change the world and shit. And that's generally what you get from Kendrick to an extent.
Here's the thing, though. 'Cause I'm surprised who this came from. Like Russell Peters, of course, he's not stupid. He knows it's gonna be Drake, even though he said personally he'd probably go Jay Z.
Yeah, being an older
DJ
guy,
DJ Vlad is like he's in the music industry.
He's in the
like
game.
He interviews every hip hop artist. For him
Yeah.
to say that is like, cause ask him, who do you think is more likely to join you on an interview, Kendrick or Drake? Probably Kendrick, because Drake's too big for you.
Well-
I'm sorry, you know.
well,
Like
Drake is too big for DJ Vlad, but I don't know. Kendrick doesn't do many interviews either.
he doesn't, but maybe something like more low key like that he might do. But like, just the worldwide appeal of Drake is you can't even argue it anymore. You
I
know,
think
it's
Russell
not a
Peters
game
hit it.
anymore.
I think Russell Peters hit it on the nose, right? You go
100%.
anywhere in the world, you'll hear Drake. When I was in Dominican Republic, this is 3-4 years ago now with the fam.
Yeah.
Every time I went to the beach bar, they're blasting a different Drake song. Whether it's
Exactly.
his regular songs or the couple songs he's done features on Spanish tracks or whatever it may be, or his kind of UK vibe songs or Madiba Rhythm. You go anywhere of the world, Drake's released a type of track for that part of the world.
Bro, my relatives from Bosnia know who Drake is, but I can guarantee if I even said Kendrick Lamar, they'd be like, "Well, what's
Play
going
play them a track, they'd be like, "Who is this? What is this?"
on?" Yeah, what is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. Nah, and even just like as I said, Kendrick's more about the content.
Yeah.
He does have some songs, sound great bangers, but Drake's got music
very-
that sounds really good for that everybody enjoys.
This is not. It's just like with J. Cole. Like this is not nothing against Kendrick's, of course, talent. He's an amazing rapper, but when you talk about Joe, he's not up there with those guys.
No, and
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he ever will be. I think he
If he was more
because
consistent, he could be.
no,
with
because
that-
Kendrick's a guy that he doesn't like the rap life, the celebrity life. He doesn't live that life, right?
Neither does J. Cole though.
No, yeah, he doesn't. But J. Cole is a
He doesn't.
little more spends time. He'll hang out with the Drake. He'll hang out with the Travis Scott. You see those videos
That's true.
and pictures sometimes, right?
Well,
He's out and
21
about.
Savage. He has a song with
Exactly.
21.
He has relationships with the guys in the industry. I don't
yeah.
think Kendrick
see
has that other than guys on his label.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
like-
true. And it shows.
And Drake has said in that interview with the Rap Radar guys, he said, "Listen, like a lot of guys rap about the rap life. He's like, I actually live that life. I'm out on the streets. I'm in New York, LA, some different city, turning up with different people every weekend
Yeah. And you really can constantly releasing content. Like it's
because he does that."
yeah. But also because like he wants to maintain his
Yeah.
like his number one spot.
Now,
Kendrick's
do you think
dropped
that
down.
do you think that has to do a little bit of the content that these guys rappers sing about, right? Drake has some deep tracks, but generally he's not going deep
I don't
deep
think so,
into
bro.
the matter. Kendrick and J. Cole are, so maybe it's a little harder for them to construct those stories.
I honestly don't think that's the issue here, cause like someone listening to someone like J. Cole, like people like you and me can listen to it, and then like girls can even hop in and listen to it. It's
It's versatile.
It's more deep shit that they're saying, right? So it connects to people differently. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's like you're not connecting to I don't know fucking God's plan or some shit. Like it's true. But like Kendrick, when he released Humble and all those tracks, Bitch Don't Kill, like he was the biggest thing at that point. I think he could have still been there if he just
Yeah.
continued to make music. I
Yeah.
don't hear from him. I was a huge fan of his, but I don't hear from
thing
him
is, it's
anymore,
not just that you don't hear from him; you don't even see him anywhere, right?
Exactly,
When
yeah.
Drake's not releasing music, He's still all over your Instagram feed. Videos of him popping up on your YouTube.
Yeah.
He's tweeting some shit. He's doing something to keep his face in front of your eyes, so you
And we've
don't
even-
forget about him.
We've even talked. Look what Tory Lanez has done throughout this whole quarantine situation. You know,
Took
he's
a-
brought
took a
his
pa-
stardom to like a whole nother level.
Took a page out of Drake's playbook, man, and
Exactly, and showed out. And now everyone knows who the fuck he is.
yeah. And even you look at a guy like Kanye West, right? He was at the peak, as high as you can go at one point in time.
Yeah.
And then as the music, how he changed up his whole life and all that stuff that went on externally.
Yeah.
As his releases went down, his notoriety and fame went down too. You got to keep giving the people something to remember you and keep you on top of that mountaintop. And I think you got to be hungry as shit, man. And that's Drake. You
Yeah.
talked about MJ and LeBron, how they could do anything because of their mindsets. It's like Drake, he can do any style because he'll put in that work to make
And
sure
he'll- and
you
he'll
keep
try it.
respecting him.
Like
Yeah.
you'll see the attempt, even if it doesn't hit for you and you
Yeah,
don't
if
like
it misses, yeah.
whatever. He doesn't care about that. He cares that you've listened to it.
Yeah.
And that's why the guy like J. Cole, you know, like you said, he builds relationships with these other rappers, but he also constantly gives you something new to listen to. I'm not always listening to his Forest Hill Drives or something, you know, album
Yeah.
from like a few years ago. I'm listening to newer shit.
And hey, he didn't release an album for himself, but still, what's his label called? That was his last project, 2019.
Dreamville?
Yeah, their project, great project, and he was all over it, right?
Exactly. He's in every song. It's kind of like what Travis Scott did with Jack Boys.
Yeah, and that's why a guy like Travis Scott keeps elevating higher and higher, keeps releasing, pushing the envelope, making sure again that you remember his face and you're not forgetting his name.
I'm surprised that they put Kendrick in that list.
What
Was
do you
this
mean?
current? Was this new?
Well, I think so.
If it was current,
I don't know.
then
It was
I'm-
posted
I'm
recently.
hella surprised. Yeah. If it was posted recently, then yeah.
You're from Toronto.
Yeah, like I'll see if I can find the details here
You're from Toronto.
on Complex Canada's page.
Toronto.
They posted 24 hours ago,
Okay, so
and the only caption was Russell Peters' take on hip hop grades.
Yeah.
So
okay, so yeah, I'm hella
semi
surprised.
recently. Listen, even if it was in the last year, this conversation is totally relevant to what they were talking about.
Yeah. Well, it seems that way because even Russell Peters was
No.
kind of like, yo, you can't reach Drake's level
Yeah.
of like stardom.
Last question I'd ask you though: do you think though, if Kendrick dropped same day as Drake, people would go to it just because you're like, oh my God, Kendrick dropped for the first time in 3 years? Or
This is
or
where
it could be 4 or 5 years by the time we get something.
this is where I was kind of like I was saying it, but I was kind of thinking in my head. I'm like, if he does come back with something, it could hit louder than like. It depends though, because if Drake gives us something like he did with Dark Demo Tapes, then yes, the Kendrick one's gonna rise higher. If he gives us
yeah, that
something
was-
brand new,
That was tracks we'd already heard through IG lives and leaks and stuff, right?
yeah.
Even Demons, that goes hard as shit. You already heard that.
But I think the thing is, I think regardless, stardom is so much bigger that it would take time for people to figure out that Kendrick just released something, as opposed to everyone knowing Drake's just put something out. You know what I mean?
Drake's rollout is huge every
Yeah.
time.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
again, he has like followers up the ass, and it's never gonna stop.
Well, and you've heard me say this all the time. Jake is the chief marketer in the hip hop game. His camp.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Even that last song that he put out, what was it?
Tusi?
Yeah, that one. Retarded, but he knew it was gonna hit because there's a dance.
TikTok.
attached.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's probably been on the billboards for like how long now? Like a month?
At least. Anything else you want to say, even on hip hop in general, even or on this topic before we wrap up this show?
I was trying to think of someone else that because I just saw that the interview was from 3 weeks ago.
Oh, it's 3 weeks ago. How did they do
So,
an interview 3 weeks ago amongst all this shit?
I guess it's just one guy interviewing, one guy doing it, so maybe it's
Mhm.
no issue. But I was just trying to think of, because I'm surprised that they put Kendrick on that list.
Yeah.
Who would you replace him with? We said Cole,
Tra-
but like
Travis Scott or Future?
I was
But
thinking
even to me, Future.
I was thinking Future, but I feel like it's
Well,
like
here-
some
here,
people like Future. It's not
Let's
like
go
a
through this.
worldwide
Future
thing.
just released an album. Well, have you listened to it? What did you think of it?
I listened to it and I didn't really fuck with it too much, to be honest.
Yeah, see, that's
too much
the
of the same shit.
exactly with Future. It's the same thing over and over. There's a few songs that go hard. At the
Yeah.
start, I kind of got excited
I
because
did
when
too.
he went a little, he was kind of changing it up. a little more singing, kind of softer. Just giving a variety, just something different. I don't need his old trap where I can't understand what he's saying every single song, right?
Yeah. This
And then
guy,
it
listen to
went
bro.
back down the same pathway, kind of.
I know. That's what I mean. Is I feel like it's an acquired taste with Future.
Yeah.
You know, some people like him, other people just can't listen to him at all.
Yeah, there's usually 2 or 3 songs on an album, but I really was hoping this one was gonna be like when he released Future and Hendrix. I was really, which is the one that you liked and you didn't like?
I like Future.
Yeah, and I liked Hendrix. I was kind of hoping it was gonna be kind of a blend between the two at the least.
It started out like
You
that.
know,
But
yeah, started off I was like, yeah, match the two, see what you can do, try something different,
I was gonna say,
right?
listen to us, bro. Remember we told him during the Tory Lanez thing?
Yeah, yeah. Watch our
But-
podcast. We'll fix every hip hop artist's career, and we'll
He
tell
went
every
back to his
NHL
old
team how to
ways.
win. Yeah.
Okay. It's not NBA team how to win.
Listen, I'll tell you, with this online course I'm taking, I get the final assignment. I get to dissect an NHL organization, like every single part of it, and to come up with an off-season plan and stuff. I'm gonna tell you exactly how to fix the Leafs.
But that's shit you do on your own time, anyways.
Exactly, and now I'm gonna learn how to do it better. It's just I showed you that textbook, man. It is this fat, and I gotta read about
Yeah.
half of it by Friday. So as soon as this podcast is uploaded, I already canceled tennis tonight with our Boris buddy because I got our buddy Boris buddy because I gotta read this shit.
You can play tennis with them, bro?
They
Are you
opened up tennis
staying-
courts. They opened up
You were
tennis courts.
staying home, fam?
I
Wait,
have
for
been
this?
staying. Yeah. Today's first day tennis courts are open in Ontario.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. Tennis is the one
She would
sport.
too?
I would assume so. Tennis is the one sport
Or like
I
a
would say
basketball court?
is safe for social distancing. You're so far on the other side of the court. Put a glove on your left hand that you touch the ball with, and then you have literally no contact with the other person.
Well, then you can bring back basketball too, because
How?
every time I'm playing one of you guys, it's the same distance in defense.
You're so bad at basketball. Listen, when you put up that weak layup and I block it into your face, that ain't social distancing.
That's Marvin, bro. He knows the
Ask
wrecking
him what.
I do on the court.
He's small. He can't stay with your size. He's a good
Exactly.
player, but and you don't have the mobility I have. He can't stay with you. You know.
You know the mobile. I hope he watches this.
He probably will. I would say I'm not a better basketball player, but I'd say on defense I'm more mobile than Bovin.
Mobile? I don't know,
Yeah.
but you got the height. You got the height advantage.
Okay, I would say I'm a better defender. You think that's
the first
you
team,
you
bro.
think that, you think that's a hot take that I'm not a good defender
No. So you're a better defender
than Bovin?
than our buddy Bobbin. I'm
Listen.
telling you, bro. He's one of the hardest guys to go against. He's small, but
And you think
he
I'm
holds
not?
the
I'm
center of
offended.
gravity, bro.
I'm offended right now because I suck at basketball. But defense is a point of pride.
I
People
haven't
don't
played you in a
score on
while.
me.
I don't know.
It's 'cause you're scared.
Hey, I remember you had it a few years ago. You got injured and shit. Can you come back? Do you still have it? I don't know.
Listen, I've been
Let's see.
last leg of quarantine. I'm going hard in the gym work in the garage gym.
Come June,
and,
we're back at the court.
Hey, June, July, whenever they open this shit, now you laid down the gauntlet. So we're gonna film this. We'll post it. You get so many amount of possessions to score on me and then score on Bovin. Better be no half-assing on your part. I'm gonna defend you better.
I'm gonna drop 100 on both of you.
All right, bet.
Easy.
Any amount of money.
86 bones. 86 bones.
Virtual shake on it. It's done.
Just to be difficult, bro.
All right, that'll be it for this segment. This episode, we are having another drop coming Friday.
Yes,
Our
sir.
best episode we've ever done. You guys are gonna laugh. We drank a little too much, or at least I did. We had a lot of fun with it. Drake versus Jay-Z coming soon. Thanks for watching. We're out of the mix.